I'm here.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to
I'm
Do
here.
It Big Season 2.
Okay,
Oh, I have my stream
good
on.
evening,
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trolling. Okay.
Anyways, welcome to another night of Do It Big action. We have our second semifinal tonight between Andyland and Double Jungle Gap being billed as the gap of a generation. Andyland coming in here as the number one seed have been perched atop the standings basically the entire season. Have also been lying in wait in the semifinals, courtesy of this number one seed. They'd had a quarterfinal bye. Also had their choice of semifinal opponent, so they selected Double Jungle Gap. Seems to be a good selection, as on the other side of the bracket, Team Strag upset Pokecard on Saturday night. So they will be lying in wait for whoever comes out on top tonight. So we're going to get loaded into the series shortly. Today I'll be joined by the boys, three co-casters. We got Chungus, Pizza,
Hey,
and Tiggy. Let's get it. It's gonna be a
Yo,
lot of fun. Okay. So let's see what's going on with the lobby. Everybody's here. Where is Tiggy?
missing Arena Thunder.
Okay. Um, I'll invite you in a second, Tiggy. There you go.
did they change the chat font in this client? Because it
Sometimes,
looks whack.
sometimes it like randomly like changes like Times New Roman. It's really weird.
This is garbage.
Indeed. Okay.
Contact the art department.
um. All right. Let's do a quick check on the sound balance as well. For those of you that are in the chat, how are the volumes? Is Tiggy too loud? Not loud enough? Just right? Let me know
Say
so I
not loud enough.
I can turn him up or down. Okay.
Oh,
So yep, just waiting here for one more. It will be Arena Thunder, and then we're gonna get going shortly with the classic pregame interview. Tiggy kind of loud, but love his voice.
I see my boy Crimer in the chat.
Okay, got the caster fan club as well. Let's go. All right, everybody's in here. I'm gonna check in with both teams, and then we're gonna get the interviews going.
Um,
Hello, hello, hello,
hey, hello.
hello.
Hey,
Who am I kidnapping today? Do you guys know yet?
Gordon and Philip.
Gordon and Philip. Okay. All right.
What's
Hello,
up?
hello, hello. Are you guys ready?
Hell fucking yeah, already? Okay.
Ow, my fucking ears, man. Okay.
My bad.
That's okay. That's
Meh.
okay. All right. So, when I ask for the interviewees, just pop up.
Oh.
okay.
Who the fuck?
Okay. So, let's quickly again talk about these two teams. Again, Andyland, coming in as the prohibitive favorites for the tournament, selecting Double Jungle Gap here as their opponent. Andyland did go 2-0 against Double Jungle Gap in the regular season. They only dropped games to Apuma Matata, who Double Jungle Gap did beat in the quarterfinals, and one game to Strag, who are again waiting in the finals, courtesy of their win on Saturday. Meanwhile, for Double Jungle Gap, been a bit of an up and down season. Had to have a couple of roster swaps, but have weathered the storm here and are looking to teach old men Andyland a lesson, as they are all so relatively young. Got that Zoomer energy, so we'll get to see that on the Rift tonight. Okay. So, looks like we have our interviewees, so I don't even need to type it. There we go. Okay. So, representing Andyland, we have the pair of Paw Paw Paw, aka Philip, my boy, and Gordo, aka Gordo Lee, the jungler and mid/top laner for Andyland. Meanwhile, representing Double Jungle Gap, we have Zoomer Fingers himself, Captain XX Pelvis Pablo XX. Don't forget the X's. Okay, so let's get into it. As the blue-sided team, Andyland will get the first round of questions. My first question is, why are you guys up here and not Andy? Why is Andy running from the smoke?
Well, Andy is a mastermind who prefers to work from the shadows.
Okay.
So we're just we don't want anything he might say to give away his strategies.
Uh-huh.
It's Gragas
Also-
top, isn't it?
Man, don't tell nobody.
Red-handed.
Pizza gonna be excited about that one. Okay, but all right. In all seriousness, let's quickly talk about your guys' experience throughout the season up until this point. So Gordo, as the mid laner, what's it been like being a part of this team? You guys seem to basically have everything figured out. What's been the key to success for Andyland?
I would say it's because we don't have a designated carry.
Mm.
We take turns doing that, right? Any one of us can step up in any game, and we all perform. Some games, Joshi might be the most consistent player. Some games, Andy might pop off, etc., etc.
Mm.
And I feel like that might be an issue with some of the other teams. They put a lot of resources into like one or two players. But
Okay.
us, we work as a well-oiled machine. I think that's the key to success for us.
Okay. Well-oiled machine. One of the cogs in that machine is your jungler Paw Paw Paw, who has definitely had one of the biggest, if not the biggest, fan club in the tournament. Let's give a shout out here to the Paw 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 Pussy Posse, a consistent presence throughout the season. Philip, what do you have to say to the posse? They've been on a bit of a break, courtesy of your bye in the quarterfinals. What can they expect from Andyland and from you tonight?
I'll tell my posse that I love them. I raise my pee for them every day. I pop up in the morning and I pop up at noon before I pop back down for bed. And so everything I do for my posse.
Uh-huh.
Much love. Can't let them down.
All right.
Yeah. Go posse.
Any chance you cook something up for the pregame speech / rap? We talked about it last week after Charles gave us that rendition of "Go the Distance." Were you able to come up with anything?
I think that's more of a finals thing. Is kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Closing ceremony.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see here. Master P lays down some bars, or if Mr. Pelvis Pablo here and Double Jungle Gap can spoil the party. All right, Calvin. So we'll turn it over to you now and to Double Jungle Gap. As I mentioned already, bit of a topsy-turvy season, but you guys looked really, really strong against Puma Matata and looking to right that ship up against Andyland here. What was the key to coming up with that 2-0 win over Puma Matata in the quarterfinals?
Just play how we normally play. Don't trust too hard, and just focus on your own game and make sure to have fun.
Okay, well, that was decidedly less Zoomer than I thought it would be coming out against Andyland. But Andyland did pick you guys as their quarterfinal opponent. What are you guys gonna do to make sure that they rue that choice?
Well, I don't know why the fuck Papa thinks that he can rap in the finals if he's not even gonna be in the finals. But yeah, I'm not sure. They picked the wrong team. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, okay. Why is it the wrong choice? Why, Calvin? Tell us.
Do I need to explain it? We're gonna win.
Oh, it's just that simple, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we win, they lose. I'm confused.
Oh, alright. Shit. It's just that simple. Okay, well, if it's just that simple, if there's anything else that you guys want to say to one another, to your respective fans, now is the time. Otherwise, we're going to get ready to load into the semifinals between Andyland and Double Jungle Gap. Any last words?
Good luck, Andyland.
You're going to need it? No?
I guess you can need it.
Okay, alright. That's way too cordial. Alright.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay. Well, with that, we should get loaded into pick and bans shortly. Just a quick reminder, this will be a best of 3. Andyland coming in as the number 1 seed. Do get side selection here for game 1. After that, the losing team will have side selection going forward. Okay, so my fellow co-casters, what are we hoping to see from this series? Let's go in order. Tiggy, I don't think you've watched as much as Pizza and Paige have throughout the season, but what are you hoping to see from this game?
I mean, I'm hoping to see some close games.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some exciting League of Legends plays, maybe some throws here and there. Some pop-off performances, and maybe throwing a little bit of Gragas top. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Okay. Speaking of Gragas top, then we have a Is it 1.8 yet, Pizza, or is it still sitting at 1.7 million?
I think we're still at 1.7.
Okay. Well, we have a 1.7 million mastery point Gragas main on the casting desk today. So, Pizza, are you also hoping for a Gragas top, or what are you expecting to see?
Well, I won't say who, but I've actually been asked to give some Gragas tips at some point in the season. So maybe we'll see that kind of out, but I also won't be holding my breath either.
Okay. Chungus, I know that also you've been working closely here with Double Jungle Gap. As they load into pick and bans here, what are some picks, some spicy strategies that they've been preparing? If you can fill us in on that.
Oh, spicy strategies. I think I've worked with them a little bit on pick ban. They have a lot of different kind of play styles and team comps revolving around solo lanes and jungle. I think they have that like solid bot lane, and then they kind of have more variance in their solo lanes and jungle, but that's where it gets exciting. I want to see them play like they did against Hapumu Matata, and I think we got a good game in our hands.
There's the Seraphine first pick.
Okay.
To be expected based on what I've heard from Philip and his support's choice of champions.
Okay. What it does open up here, though, is the classic Pelvis Pablo Udyr. Shout out to Calvin, who's been playing this champion since before Season 11, which means that he actually has a mental deficiency because Udyr was not a champion for his previous 10 years of League of Legends. But a very, very strong pick here, and it will be complemented by Misfortune coming in from Gloria, aka Measy as well. Another comfort pick for her.
So I have opinions about Udyr and his strength right now.
Okay, let's hear it, Tiggy.
I don't think he's good.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's overrated.
Why do you think that?
At least outside of the professional level of play. I think he is overrated. I think you have to have insane knowledge of pathing and just basically a complete understanding about how the game is going to play out and the minutes following where you are in the present to efficiently use his very basic toolkit.
Yeah.
Some would say because of his basic toolkit, he can easily get results. I think it's actually a double-edged sword in that the ceiling of his potential is very low if you don't have a very good understanding of how to be right place, right time.
Yeah.
That's basically all the champion is being right place, right time. So
no, I definitely agree with that. At the end of the day, Udyr, his kit is still very, very simple. But yeah, the item changes have helped him a lot in that department in terms of making sure that he gets to the right place a lot quicker than he did in seasons
that's
past.
true.
So we're gonna see here if Pelvis Pablo, who has had success on this champion throughout the season, can find the right places to pop up.
Well, Alistar basically makes sure that he won't get on the carry in a team fight. It's pretty good quality peel.
Yeah.
Say against a champion like Udyr.
Now, what's interesting here is, when we saw the Seraphine locked in, we thought they would go in the support role, but this Alistar means we're probably going to see Seraphine mid here, which hasn't
taking a chapter out of the G2 book. I see
been played. Yeah,
Seraphine and a bunch of tanks with one carry.
Okay,
we'll see.
That shouldn't mean Joshi in the mid lane, right?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think Gordo plays Seraphine.
What would you expect to see Gordo play in the top lane then?
Oh.
It looks like he's going to have to pick it blind.
Yep, ends up locking in Garen here, and it's going to be Graves. So
they have a Morgana counter as well to the Seraphine mid, it looks like. I don't know if that's actually a counter, but...
Well, they have a couple of Seraphine counters picked up here in both Braum and Morgana. Morgana with a black shield, decent against the Encore. Braum, a massive counter with the projectile breaking shield, will stop the Encore in its tracks. And now with both compositions locked in, Chungus, what do you make of the composition coming out of Double Jungle Gap here? Is this what you helped them prepare?
This is basically the exact scenario that we went through, other than I think the Jace ban for R3 is a little weird. We were thinking about Seraphine bans or Jinx ban, but I think other than that, and also the Viego is a little odd. But we have counterpick for last, so
well, they had Seraphine and the Jinx in the first 3 picks, so
yeah. I was gonna say ban instead of Jace ban, Seraphine ban. But yeah, I think overall, damage profile coming out is very low AP, so a lot of AD coming out from Andyland. So and you got Udyr and Braum, and I think I like Double Jungle Gap's comp. I think it plays really well towards their own style. But then Andyland has their own style too, so it's really gonna see which style comes out superior.
Pizza, what do you make of Andyland's comp?
Definitely low damage. We're gonna have to see if Papa is gonna be able to scale up on this Graves, who's kind of fallen out of favor as of late, and also Mr. Chunks definitely has a large burden to bear this game as well.
I don't know if I necessarily like the Graves here, but I think I disagree that the comp is low damage. I would actually argue that Double Jungle Gap's comp overall is less damage, at least scaling damage. Perhaps in the mid game they'll be stronger, but as the game goes on and you have double carry with Seraphine and Garen to frontline with the Alistar, as opposed to basically the only damage dealing champions late game are going to be Viego and kind of Misfortune on the red side. So I think this, despite the mechanical counters, I think this favors blue as it goes on, and I think the onus is on red to make the plays with the Udyr and the Morgana, hard CC, making picks in the early game to secure objectives.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little harder for them to execute, but I do agree that their carries are more hyper carry. You have the Jinx, the Graves, but also their damage profile is very AD heavy, so it's a little easier to itemize into them.
Oh yeah.
And Morgana
I do think that Lord Dominic's regards is insanely busted right now at dealing with armor. That kind of makes AD stacking perhaps not as bad as it used to be, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Once they hit that 2 to 3 item power spike, when they actually pick up the LDR, the damage profile might not matter as much. Again, it's a very mid game, early game focus. We'll see if they can pick up a bunch of plated steel caps and make the picks before the enemy team picks up their LDRs and their other core items. That's the way I see it playing out.
I'm starting to see some LPL teams build LDR second on their AD carries.
It's an insane item.
Yeah.
It's set to be nerfed, I believe, actually.
Oh yeah, big
if
time.
it isn't in the patch notes. Yeah,
it is.
So
we will see. Okay, a lot of good analysis here coming in from my co-casters. So with 15 seconds now ticking down on the spectator delay, let's take a quick look at the voting odds so far. It's actually going to be double jungle gap ahead here, 61% to 39 in the betting. But let's quickly go through here. Tiggy, who do you have coming out of game one?
Against my better judgment, I think I have the blue team coming out on top in this one.
Okay.
I generally prefer scaling comps in outside of professional play because I expect throws and scaling to actually come into play before the game is closed out.
Okay.
But I can see red side easily running away with this one if there are much less than ideal pathing and plays going on from the blue team.
All right.
It's close.
Tiggy?
But I do favor scaling.
Pizza? Who do you have?
Let's see. I think this goes slightly in Andyland's favor.
Okay.
Just because I feel like they're on comfort, whereas the Viego top is definitely a new pickup for double jungle gap, and I'm not sure they know how to play like the split style that suits Viego better, because team fighting for Viego is definitely much harder than it is for Garen.
I think we should have eyes on the jungles here. Looks like a 5-point split for both teams. Not sure yet whether or not Graves is going to be starting top side. Looks like they're going for an early invade here.
Yep, will be spotted here by Udyr.
Probably just for vision.
Yep, gonna drop the early ward.
Morgana has barrier. It's very interesting.
Udyr is even recalling now. He might look to start blue. Yes, he's pinging towards blue for the start, pathing bottom to top, essentially for an early level 3 gank in the top lane to snowball to Viego, which probably the play because that is where a lot of their damage needs to come from this game. If they have any hopes of scaling, they need that Viego snowball. And Garen is very susceptible to a gank from a champion like Udyr.
Have you played against Viego yet this season, Tiggy?
I have played against it, yes, and I think it's complete and total bullshit.
I agree.
I think the champion is imbalanced, and that if they manage to capitalize on that and just hard camp top and push this Ignite Garen, by the way, very high risk, high reward choice of summoner respells in the top lane. If they manage to push him out of relevance and snowball to Viego, who is one of the 2 carries on the team, that will be very, very favorable for them. I think blue side should just look to completely mitigate anything that red does here and just try to shadow the Udyr's ganks here. They should know that he's pathing bot to top here, and they should know that the first gank, if not a recall first, will be middle or top, likely top at that. So would like to see Graves defending his top laner here after he does his camps.
Okay, we'll see here.
Definitely doesn't look to be the case. So Viego has a hearty shove going in already. That will bounce back after this wave, and Graves is just full clearing bot, it appears. Meanwhile, Udyr starting his red will be in the top lane to potentially threaten a gank once this wave does start to push back.
Yeah, look at the difference in clear speed here. Pelvis Pablo already finishing the red buff. Meanwhile, Graves is still trying to clear away the Raptor camp. That is one of the things about Udyr that's always been his strength, is just his clear speed. And especially in Season 10, Season 11, the extra emphasis on hitting level 4 before you hit the Scuttle Crab has really favored Udyr this season. So, look at that, a 309 clear for Pelvis Pablo. We'll see here where he decides to leverage this early tempo advantage. At this point, can honestly even potentially look for a potential double crab, as this top scuttle will fall in short order.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Graves pathing to crab here, expecting the double from Udyr based on the pathing, but alas, I think Udyr will get the double crab. And I might even go as far as to blame it on the simple fact that Blue is blue side this game, and he started top side and his jungle not getting the super strong leash from the bot lane that is very popular with jungle pathing.
So Udi here actually going to take a reset. Not going to look at the bottom crab, which I think is a little bit disappointing. They did have bot lane prio, and now with this ward, they will be able to see Grace finally come out of his jungle at around the 4-minute mark to start on this crab. Let's see if Udi here decides to race for it. All my wave pings going there, but with the wave pushing back
Bot
in
side is
favor of
collapsed.
Andyland, looks like will not be the case. And actually, Jinx and Alistar are going to potentially be looking for Udi here. Gonna be able to spot Pelvis Pablo, but now the collapse can come in from
Here's the Alistar.
Here we go. Now gonna go in. Gonna be a 3v3 fight. Double knockout coming in from Alistar. Gray's gonna go over the wall, but now Silent Voice going very, very low. First one is on the cards. Let's see if Udi decides to go in. Flash in. Gonna be exhausted here, but one more auto gonna be enough. No, ends up being first one picked up by Seraphine. Gonna be a double kill now.
God.
Picking up by Braum. And now Me Easy gonna be found out here as well. One more auto. Gonna be a double kill for Mr. Chunks. A bloodbath here in the jungle of Double Jungle Gap, going to heavily favor Andyland at the 5-minute mark.
I can't believe Alistar didn't die there.
I can't either.
I think red team should have won that, but the Triumph rocks came out once they started misplaying and not securing first blood. And
Wow.
that was the difference.
Yep. A
assuming they're running
massive
Triumph.
play for Mr. Chunks there. Gonna now give a 1,500 gold lead over to Andyland.
Yep, and now this is exactly what you don't want to see for Double Jungle Gap. Like all of the gold was funneled into the Jinx basically, so she is massively accelerated.
I would have liked to see a TP, ideally, if there was a ward from the Viego even in that situation. That's why you bring TP over the Ignite. That could have been the difference. Viego could be like 3-0 right now if he landed a TP.
Yeah.
I'd have to look back at the replay to see if he was actually being pressured and unable to TP during that time, though.
Yep. Viego, though, to his credit, Daddy Don't Chill does have a pretty good CS lead up against this Garen. Holding on to the TP as well after shoving the wave to Gordoli's tower will mean that that TP advantage is still available for him. But yeah, if it neglects to hold it there, not going to mean too much.
Yeah, looking at bot lane now. Oh, well, the wave was frozen. I don't know why they broke it, but it was unplayable for Misfortune. Braum.
Looks like they're still going to put the freeze back on here. So Misfortune and Braum, yeah, not going to have a good time following that little bit of a fiasco for Double Jungle Gap. And now Graves picking up the Noon Quiver here off the 3 assists, going to now start on the Mountain Dragon with Udyr. Still just taking away his camps. Looks like it will be first Drake picked up for Andyland as well. Okay, so with that
The
bit of a
Dragon
setback,
Sneak comes out. Wow.
with that setback here for Double Jungle Gap, what do you think these guys need to do to get back into the game here?
I mean, they just need to keep playing how they're playing. I don't think the gold advantage on the Jinx is going to make or break any of the plays they would otherwise want to play. But it's probably a little too late to focus on the Garen at this point. It depends on the amount of damage Viego's going to be able to put out, but I'd like to see some investment in that top lane, I think, at this point. If Misfortune can keep the farm going, I don't really see much aggression coming out onto an Alistar lane with a cleansed Jinx when they're already down gold, and you have to sack it and invest and double down in the Viego here.
Okay.
Maybe grab a Rift Herald, get him some plate money. Abuse the fact that Udyr should have control over objectives, even though Graves has those 3 assists to Udyr's 1 death.
Okay, so Viego here going to be looking for Paw here after already counter jungling away Graves' blue buff, and now going to be overextended against Gordo Lee, who is collapsing. Arena Thunder here will be able to bind up the Garen, so that will be Viego walking out here. Garen here is facing a 20 CS deficit, not something that you want to be in a position, not a position you want to be in as a traditional lane bully on Garen, but as it stands, as you guys have already mentioned, Viego really needs to start getting the snowball rolling, and Udyr seems quite disinterested in getting involved here in the top lane. So it's just going to be a 1v1 here.
We see Udyr position in the bottom side of the map here. I really want to see them try to do a bit more cross-map play. Maybe like send Iron and Thunder down as well to just try to shut down this Jinx a little bit. But the cleanse definitely dissuading any sort of 4-man.
Yep. And with Udyr showing himself in the bot lane, Papahawk going to have the confidence to take away this red buff, knowing there is no option for Udyr to run into him. Meanwhile, Gordo Lee, though, now going to eat the ultimate coming in from Via, going to be forced to use his flash here. Let's see now if Udyr can set up a potential dive scenario, or even just find Graves here in his topside jungle, as Graves is just going to be
very risky by Graves.
Smokescreen is down here as well. Udyr going to find that his Krugs are going to be taken if he decides to walk even just a little bit more to the top side. Alistar, though, here is roaming. Let's see what they decide to do. It looks like going to be a potential 4v3 as the Rift Herald does get started by double jungle gap here.
Yeah, Seraphine's completely here. She has no pressure. It's
Double
essentially, well, Jinx is rotated up, but it's still a 4v3.
Yep. But
with
it looks like
Seraphine's mana.
the numbers here are going to be enough here for Andyland to just pick up this Rift Herald. And just superior map movement for Andyland here going to mean that they get all the early game advantages and both of the first objectives in the game in both the Dragon and the Rift Herald here.
I would have liked to see Braum rotate up and basically this roles reversed there and red team pressuring with 4 about 2 minutes ago on the Rift Herald to use on Viego, but what's done is done.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a high hold on, going to be a roam here mid coming in, but the Black Shield going to block the Pulverize coming in from Alistar, but now Arena Thunder needs to be careful. Not enough shielding there to block a potential Alistar stun auto. Going to be able to walk out from that one again. Seraphine here is sitting on next to no mana, means that no Encore is going to be available once that Black Shield got popped. So Arena Thunder will be able to walk out from this one. There are CS leads in both solo lanes for double jungle gap here, but again, this Udyr has really not been able to find too much success. Now going to be potentially overextended 2v1. Okay, not too much action. But yeah, this Udyr, you talked about it, Tiggy. You need to know where to be at the right place, right time, and thus far, this Udyr has done none of that.
It's playing Farmville right now. That's it's not a carry.
No. Yeah, this is the one thing I really don't like about Udyr, or like just in general jungle players who do this, is they think that they should just power clear. You know, if you have to power clear, you should understand what you're power clearing for. Udyr at level 6 gets absolutely nothing, whereas a lot of champions do. And you want to leverage that early game advantage. Alright.
Perhaps they're just aiming for a 1-3-1 setup, and Udyr needs to be strong to contend with whoever they might send in the side lanes, but still.
Alright. So, Ocean Dragon spawning here means that we will get a potential 5v5 here. Looks like double jungle gap going to be first on site. Going to clear out this control ward in the back of the pit. Eyes here on Joshi and on that Encore coming in from Seraphine. Meanwhile, Garen going to start on Simone here as well. Arena Thunder going to take some damage. Garen is on the flank again. Watch for the Encore. Braum needs to be on point with the shield. If he can block that, then should have a decent amount of success. But actually just going to be a lot of damage taken by double jungle gap here. And now, backing off a little bit, going to give Andyland positioning here. Let's see if the fight breaks out. Fight is a little bit split here. Here we go. Engage onto Seraphine, but the Bullet Pine not going to find too much. Dragon will go down here. Viego going to be picked up though by Gordo Lee. And here we go. Udyr going to go very, very low, running for the hills. Not going to be enough. Going to be picked up by Jinx. And now Simone running for the hills as well. Not going to be fast enough. The Cloud Shrine helping Gordo Lee spin his way on top of Morgana for a kill there. So ends up being a 3-0, although Ocean Dragon was picked up as a consolation prize for double jungle gap.
You hate to see the Xmithy on the Misfortune ult right there.
Yeah.
That was some real shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not able to find too many valuable targets of Andyland there, but double jungle gap were able to secure the dragon, if nothing else.
Between the Morgana blowing her Black Shield early, trying to just trade with the Garen, and blue team just got to steamroll them. They just got to throw some pot shots, made them walk out, and then got the superior positioning, making red team be the one split. And yeah.
Oh, we didn't even really see an encore.
Mistake there in starting the dragon there early. Getting the vision was great by Double Jungle Gap, but someone hit it there, and then it took out nearly like half of the HP.
Oh, holy crap, so much Viego damage coming out here. Unfortunately, no ultimate available for Daddy No Chill, otherwise that could have potentially been a very, very dead Garen. Viego now sitting on the Blade of the Rune King, so does have a decent power spike here, but really needs to start making these kills count, or else it's gonna fall behind. And now with Joshi roaming up here to the top lane to see if they can find anything. 4 members on the top side of the map here now for Andyland, so Daddy No Chill needs to be aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, based on how the gold has played out thus far, it's only becoming ever more true that they need to double down on investing in this Viego. I'd like to see some side lane dives of the Garen instead of this ARM that's going down right now.
Alright, Binding gonna land onto Mr. Chunks, but look at this damage coming in. Collateral damage from the Graves over the top, gonna be enough to pick up Udyr here, who at this stage in the game is not sitting on the Turbo Chem Tank yet, so not a whole lot of armor in Udyr's inventory. And now Daddy No Chill gonna be found out in a 2v1 here. Encore gonna be flashed away from by Viego, who should have the gap closer over the wall with the ultimate. Will do just that. So we'll be able to get out of that one, but still all tempo in favor of Andyland here at the 15-minute mark. Going to be pushing down onto this mid-tier 1. Now Miizi going to be under threat here. Going to be a Gale Force coming in from the Graves. And that is going to be another kill handed over to Andyland. Now 9-0, going to be 7,000 gold up. Oh man, this is looking rough here for Double Jungle Gap.
I'd just be focused on not getting tilted if I were red team right now. I'm thinking about how to actually play to your strengths next game. Okay. The side lane play here has been less than ideal. The composition really screams help Viego, and I don't think I've seen Udyr touch top lane a single time this game. They're trying to force ARM against a Pressar and run at you comp. It's just it's going to be a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why they're deciding to send so many people mid. Like, if you decide to group and play like this, it means you're ready for a fight or a team fight. In their case, they're definitely not. They should definitely be focused on picking up some of the side lane farm and trying to claw their way back in terms of gold.
Yeah. These CS advantages for both Viego and Morgana have been cancelled out, obviously, by this Jinx, who is now sitting on a Kraken Slayer as well as Runon's Hurricane. So much damage coming out. Yeah, this bot lane advantage for Andyland here has really paid itself off. No real contest coming in from Double Jungle Gap around these neutral objectives, and Jinx, when she does get those resets coming in, it's just such a nightmare to deal with. So we'll see here if Double Jungle Gap, who do have decent pick potential with both the Morgana and the Viego, can find some picks onto maybe some of the weaker members of of Andyland, and then maybe translate that into some more objective wins. But it's looking rough.
Yeah, it is looking pretty rough. Udyr is at least trying to go for the Rift Herald here. Better late than never, I suppose. Looks like blue team is posturing for the spawning Drake as well. I'd expect red team to probably give this up and hope that someone tries to contest Viego's push on the tier 2 with the Rift Herald here. Yeah, if I'm Udyr, I take this Herald and I drop it mid to break the first turret or to double down on the Viego push. We got a double recall incoming to just a single from the Garen. Udyr's shown himself.
Yeah, should be able to get this turret actually with 3 members of Andyland, 4 members actually also lounging around bot lane.
They're gonna need more for the inhibitor turret. This could be a big play by red.
Okay, here we go. Might just end up being a base race call coming out from Double Jungle Gap here, as Jinx is showing in the bot lane, does have the minigun as well. A lot of turret pushing potential, but this Rift Herald will at least get the charge off onto the top tier 3 here. Meanwhile, the bot tier 2 will go down for Double Jungle Gap. So gold lead still relatively the same at about 6,000 as opposed to 7,000. But now the resets coming in. Looks to just be a trade of tier 2s on opposite sides of the map here. But Andyland will be able to steal away the Gromp and the blue buff as well.
So what I see here is a win condition, actually.
Garen gonna
my
stop.
understanding of the Viego kit.
All right, Udyr trying to find his way out of here. Does have the movement
good.
speed. Yep. Anyways,
Viego, if everybody just throws their entire weight into this Jinx and somehow manages to kill her, and Viego gets that reset ult on her,
oh, it's
and starts
disgusting.
popping off with her items, that could be a turnaround.
Yep.
You know.
All right.
But it really requires some poor play from blue side and some perfect play from red. We'll see if they can land that.
All right.
That is the only way they ever win a team fight, as far as I'm concerned, is just unloading on Jinx and abusing Viego's busted toolkit.
Okay, the mid tier 2 does get picked up here by Andyland as well. We almost saw a fight break out there, but the Braum Glacial Fissure used as disengage, but it's just more concessions for double jungle gap, and they only have so many turrets that they can give up here before inhibitors start being pressured here by Andyland. And as we approach the 20-minute mark as well, Baron is very much on the cards. As this full AD comp with both Graves and Jinx, the Baron speed is very, very good for Andyland's composition. So let's see here what they decide to do. Looks to be just a 5-man push in the top lane to take down this tier 2 turret. And with no Glacial Fissure, not a whole lot of engage options in a 5v5 scenario for this comp coming out from Double Jungle Gap.
I'm not sure why Viego's grouping with teleport, and Baron he should be looking to pressure bot lane here so that blue side cannot easily set up for this Baron, which should be what they're doing next.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call is there either. Like, what do you offer as Viego if he's grouping with the team against the sieging?
They will not win a team fight if blue side is properly warded, which maybe they didn't for that, but you needed a flank, not to sit 5 men behind the turrets. And if you weren't going to do that, Viego needed to be farming bot lane, pushing and pressuring there. They just you always want to take something when you're giving up something, and they just gave up something for free there.
Yep. Okay, so it's going to mean that this gold lead is almost to 8,000 now at the 21-minute mark. Let's take a look at the Baron here, see if that ends up being the focus here for Andyland. Graves now sitting on the Gale Force, should be able to pick up a Collector soon. So will be a lot of AD damage coming out up against a relatively armorless comp at this point. Udyr curiously decided to go with the Merc Treads despite being up against the Jinx and the Graves. So not going to be as tanky as he would normally be.
I don't know what CC that's for, but...
and Morgana here.
Encore, I guess.
No armor either. No hourglass component picked up yet. I guess technically there is a cloth armor, but not going to be too much value there. So with that, Baron will get started here by Andyland. Let's see if they are wise enough to it. The control will spot it, but this is going down very, very fast. Already down to about 5,600. Teleport coming in from Viego. Now I'm not sure if this is going to be enough.
Where's the headbutt from the Alistar?
All right, here we go. The Udyr going to come in, and now let's see if the Baron throw is real. All right, here we go. Huge two-man encore. Both time over the top, though. Alistar going very, very low. The Viego does get silenced, unfortunately. No, actually, no. The Viego to be alive. Going to pick up the Alistar corpse here. Now going to try to go into 1v4 scenario. Going to flash over the wall. Blast Cone is available. At least there's one kill now for Double Jungle Gap, but it's still going to be a win here for Andyland, as Arena Thunder and Pelvis Popple did go down there, and now with everybody except Alistar still alive, they're going to start on this Baron yet again.
Braum and Udyr and Morgana all die with Flash still up.
Alright, Viego trying to duke it out here with Garen, but the Ignite coming in from Gordo Lee going to do so much to cut into the dueling power coming in from Viego, and that's going to means the Baron will get picked up here by Andyland, and now we'll be able to go on to this Cloud Dragon as well to put them on Cloud Soul Point, although that really shouldn't mean much at this point. Just going to be 10,000 gold lead for Andyland here in game 1. This is looking rough.
I mean, if I'm a red team, I get side select next game. What am I looking to do here? I don't know, because I'm trying to find kernels of something to hang on to here that seems promising, and
yeah, I mean,
much. Just perhaps a complete revisit of the strategy. Throw something new at them.
I think that this Viego actually
Viego's been good.
About it. Yeah.
True.
I think
he's
they need to
won
recognize
solo
that.
and just needs more investment next game.
Yep. Exactly.
Even I'm getting tilted, forgetting about their what they've done well this game. And yeah, Daddy No Chill's been doing a good job.
Yeah. You know, I think they need to recognize this win condition. Viego again has a lot of 1v9 potential, but has gotten no resources and hasn't necessarily made the best use of the teleport as well. Maybe just take Ignite and play for, you know, play for solo kills, but as it stands, Andyland here going to now push down onto the mid lane inhibitor, pick that up with no contest. Viego still in the top lane here. Let's see if Andyland will decide to respond or if they decide to just push the 5v4 advantage here, as there is a wave pushing in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, this is not Andyland. Double Jungle Gap's slim hope for victory at this point. You know, they just have to split down this top inhib, and seeing as both tier 1s for mid and bot are still up.
Hold on, Arena Thunder gonna now take so
Oh
much
God.
damage. No Hourglass, one more auto gonna be enough. The Black Shield did not come down in time before the zap slowed Morgana there. Gonna mean that Jinx picks that one up, and now Gordy gonna go aggressive onto the northwest. The Braum gonna be running for his life, gonna be easy going down to the Judgment, and this Udyr just gonna be running back and forth, eating autos from Paw. Oh my goodness, Andyland now going to pick up the inhibitor as well, but Viego is still pushing here. Let's see if we can get any more damage onto the Nexus turrets. Udyr just going to try to buy time. Gordy is going relatively low, but now the Encore going to... Ooh, not gonna, oh, it actually is going to land. What? I guess the Zanya's technically still counts as a unit for the sake of extending Seraphine Ultimate, but it will not matter as the game goes to Andyland. GG in game 1. Woo.
GG.
I
mean, well played by Blue Side. They won that game through a bot lane counter gank with the earlier collapse and the lack of the teleport from the Viego, and then a dragon fight. That was basically it.
Yep.
Those two things got the game in the bag for them. The Baron fight was pretty doomed at that point for Red Side.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened here around this invade. So, Udyr resetting, starting on the Gromp, Jinx and Alistar finding his way onto Udyr, but I really am surprised that this Alistar did not end up dying, especially since the Gromp was smited away as well. Let's see, so just not enough damage landing on the Alistar, able to flash away with the phase rush just in time, and then holding on to that exhaust, and as well as Seraphine being the first mid laner to get to the fight meant that there was enough healing to make sure that nobody died on the side of Andyland before the return damage came through. And again, Viego electing not to use teleport there meant that it just ended up being a 4v4 in favor of Andyland, and that really set the tone for the rest of the game.
I would have liked to see all of the Red Side members flashing onto the graves there. He dashed in and he knew he was a bit overzealous and just immediately flashed out and had no quick draw or flash. And I mean, if 3 of them just gangbang him right there, it's a wrap for Graves, and he donates his buffs.
Yep.
And let's not forget that whole fight was even possible and unnoticed. The invade was unnoticed by Red Side because Udyr didn't go for the double crab and recalled after top crab, allowing for Paw's greedy pathing to actually pay off very handsomely.
Indeed.
In the form of a crab and 3 kills.
Yeah. Take a look here at this dragon fight as well. We'll take one more look. So this was started by Double Jungle Gap, but they took a lot of damage. Ocean Dragon is one of those dragons that you really don't want to soft commit to because of those auto attacks that slow you as you try to get out if the tides end up shifting. So Ocean Dragon there meant that it was really easy for Andyland to position, and then landing a massive 3-man encore after the Braum shield went down meant that there was no hope for Double Jungle Gap. And after that, it was just a succession of towers and objectives picked up. We'll take one last look at the final stand here, really, for Double Jungle Gap coming in at the Baron. Andyland were able to peel off this relatively successfully, but there looked to be a glimmer of hope here for Double Jungle Gap, but ultimately not end up being enough. Viego was able to pick up the Alistar, but that's all before trying to escape. And with 4 members
Now,
still
if I'm
alive
Udyr
for
there,
Andyland, still able to take away
if
the
I'm
Baron.
Udyr there, I have a control ward in my inventory. I would have dropped it over the wall and waited for them to actually push it below 2k to go for the steal. Instead, they look to actually zone in a 2k blue side, properly stops DPSing the Baron, essentially forcing the fight, which is not what red side wants in this scenario, and they just get steamrolled for it.
Yep.
That was a fantastic chance to 50-50, a chance to come back into the game, and they decided to basically they let blue force a fight by jumping into the pit too early.
Yeah. Well, with that then, back to the drawing board for double jungle gap as they again try to put a stop to the steamroller that is Andyland. So let's see here if the lobby has been set up. There it is. Okay. So let's get you guys in here for game 2. Again, we need. Okay, let's see. Yeah, hold on.
What did you think, chat? Was that game close?
Oh man, got sexy Hagrid just popping off. Pizza. There you go. Okay, now we had to do this. We had to do this right.
I'd love to see a comeback from double jungle gap this next game. If you can manage to not get tilted by that one, and I mean, we'll see if we even get the salty run back. That would be really something after a game like that.
Yeah. Speaking of salty runbacks, double jungle gap electing to take red side here in game 2, so maybe that ends up being the case. Okay, cool.
I think they've realized that hopefully they've realized that their top lane was having a bit of a differential that game, and that they were allowed to have that counter pick because of red side. So as long as they, stop the whatever's happening outside of top lane, maybe they have something to work with that strategy. Again, like I said at the beginning of the game, I preferred the blue side comp in that game because I expect throws, and there were some throws. So if we can cut out the throws, maybe Viego carries that game.
Yeah.
And maybe, Morgana actually gets her stopwatch in time to make those flash ult plays. Udyr's a menace on the map. Graves is slow to start. Completely different story.
Chungus, what do you think should be, what do you think they need to do, double jungle gap, to kind of make sure that they make some adjustments? What adjustments they need to make?
I think they just need to, I think mostly down to execution. That 3v3 bot went terribly when they had TP advantage, so they could have, and also Morgana there's just some small execution things, like MF not flashing and autoing the Alistar hitting Graves instead. But I think just switching up to like maybe the Ashe bot, switching up a top laner, switching up a jungler, but just small things. But I think overall they just mental reset and look for changing up some small spots.
Yeah,
I think they have what it takes to maybe pull it to game 3. Do we have silver scrapes for game 3?
I'm down to put on the silver scrapes. Yeah, why not? All right. So hopefully, we see a more competitive game, maybe even a game 3 here coming out in this series, because that was, to be candid, a bit of a stomp coming out from Andyland. But all slates are clean here for game 2. With another win, though, Andyland will book a date with Strag in the finals of Season 2. Meanwhile, Double Jungle Gap will need to win the next 2 to complete an upset of Andyland. Let's see if it ends up being the case. Once both teams are ready, we will get loaded into pick and bans for game 2.
Get it.
All right. By by the way, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to stay around till after the games are over. Don't forget, we will be doing another RP giveaway courtesy of the Marble Racing stream. So that's the real content that I know that you guys are all here for. So don't go away. All right. So, with the salty run back being on the cards here, let's see if the pick and bans end up remaining the same. Thus far, it seems to be identical. Annie and Tristana bans being traded, and okay.
Wait, was I muted that whole time?
Were you?
Wait. Okay, wait. Never mind.
I didn't hear. Yeah, you weren't saying anything in game one, so I was like,
Oh, no.
We're not ignoring you. We're not ignoring you, Chunkus. I promise. Huh?
I like to imagine he was just sitting there listening to us saying true. Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's true. Also true.
Everything they're saying is right.
There wasn't much controversial analysis that game, let me tell you that.
True.
The game was very black and white.
True.
Yeah, true.
True. All right.
If they decide to switch up the bands,
They do.
It will be a Graves ban.
Okay.
Which means Seraphine first pick once again.
They really thought the Graves was the problem there. I disagree.
Yes, I think Seraphine is I think Seraphine ban has bigger impact than Graves ban.
Yeah. There's a lot of jungle flexibility, whereas the Seraphine is such a huge flex pick, obviously, from middle to support.
This is new, I think. I don't think
I like the Thresh. Some engage, some ranged engage from the support can be very potent against enchanters.
Yeah. Basically just mentioned it. This is a new pick here. This is a new look for Double Jungle Gap because we have seen
more engage. I like it.
Okay.
We'll see if the Udyr curse gets shifted to blue side this game.
Okay, so Double Jungle Gap here not electing for the salty run back. Gonna now pick Thresh and Ashe up as their bot lane. But that will mean that Pa takes Udyr out of the hands of Helbus Pablo. Let's see what the jungle pickup here is going to be. Oh, what happened? We have a dodge.
Let's see.
I'm assuming a mispick.
Ryan.
Oh,
CPU
Ryan's
crashed.
CPU crashed. We hate to see that. Okay, so a bit of technical difficulties, but we'll should be locked and loaded in soon. Gentlemen, well, we do have a little bit of draft knowledge to go off of. It should be the same draft up until that point. So what do you guys make of this new look bot lane coming out from Double Jungle Gap?
Definitely set for more bot ganks. We haven't seen the support yet, I believe, from Andyland.
Not necessarily. Yep.
Yeah, and Morgana is still up. So if they do.
Oh. Hello.
Here we go.
Pizza, I think you lagged out there. If we do.
Oh yeah, no. If we do see Morgana, that would mean ganks are a lot harder for bot. But as it is, Ashe Thresh is very strong at bringing in jungler with the Dark Passage. Slows mean an easy Thresh hook against an immobile Jinx. So yeah.
Okay, so let's see if that ends up being the case. Again, we will rerun the draft up until that point. Seraphine and Udyr were locked in by Andyland, as well as, wait, did you say Jinx? I forget.
Jinx, yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, it was Thresh and Ashe on the side of Double Jungle Gap. So we should get the same draft up until that point. And we'll see here what Double Jungle Gap decide to come up with as their season is on the line here up against Andyland. Oh, I also forgot to give channel points. So, to those of you who bet on Andyland, did come out on top. Have some more channel points in your wallet after that game. Congratulations. People here are very stingy with their redemption of said channel points. Seems like everyone just wants to run up the numbers here. It's been a minute since people have redeemed their points. Reminder for the viewers, you can redeem your channel points to ask your favorite players some questions. It only costs 2,000 channel points. I know that you guys have a lot more than that, so...
I only have 200.
Oh no.
I bet all mine last game, 90. I lost them all.
All right, now we're all caught up on the draft. Let's see what they have as the answer here. Likely a jungle pick, I would think. Come out here.
So Volibear is still up.
That's usually the pick I see into Udyr.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Volibear.
Yep,
It is.
there we go.
Okay. So Volibear is seeing a bit of a resurgence in competitive play as well, actually. A little bit surprising to me. I've never been a big fan of this champion in the jungle, to be completely honest. Did receive a couple of minor buffs in 11.6, but in my opinion, still the same weaknesses insofar as a very linear ganking champion who doesn't scale particularly well throughout the game. But we'll see here if Pelvis Pablo can make it work. It is one of his comfort champions, so eyes on the Volibear. Going to be a matchup of two junglers that just run around on all fours, really.
Yeah, I was about to say the same can sort of be said for Udyr, right? Very linear, doesn't scale particularly well.
Yeah.
Comfort pick.
But Udyr just has a lot more power in the early game, I think, than Volibear. So
true.
Yeah. Volibear doesn't clear fast, doesn't get to clear fast after he buys items. So, we'll see though how they try to make this one work.
It all depends on the play, but I like the picks out of blue side already even more. But we'll see how the this top lane counter plays out. It seems like with the Thresh Ashe, they're already saying we want to gank bot. So I have a hard time imagining that the counter pick top lane is going to get invested in, unfortunately, but we will see.
Sexy Hagrid, by the way, just wilding out in chat. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on your mans here, Tiggy. Ooh. Okay. Gonna be a Lux locked in here for double jungle gap. Should be in the hands of Arena Thunder, barring a late change of heart for Daddy No Chill, who I don't think plays Lux, but we'll see.
I don't really see a Lux top happening. It's probably mid. A player that plays Morgana plays Lux.
True. Okay.
And that's going to be answered by the Vlad. That I do like this pick. I think Vlad gets to just scale freely in this lane.
Blue is running away with this draft right now. I'm going to say it.
They decided to pick Gnar. Maybe we'll see this answered by a Sylas if they do indeed.
Nope, they banned their own Sylas.
Broken right now.
Banned by themselves.
Gnar is absolutely busted right now. This is an insane draft from blue side. I'm gonna need to see some crazy pick here. That's
not
a different kind of crazy.
What? Nah, Cho is so much better here. Or like, because they're just gonna run into you. You don't need a Malphite.
Very low damage comp here. It's all base damage outside of the Ashe scaling. So not much investment in the one guy that was winning lane last game, putting him on Malphite duty.
Yep.
Sag.
Okay, so the compositions have been locked in here for Game 2. Between Andyland and Double Jungle Gap, the prediction is once again live, ladies and gentlemen, so put up your channel points. Again, the stakes are high for both teams, but especially for Double Jungle Gap. Need a win here to keep their season alive, or else Andyland will advance to the finals, where they will match up with Team Strag.
Okay, I really want to see Double Jungle Gap play for bot this game. I mean, they're showing that they want to go for this team fight with the Malphite pick, and as we mentioned before, you know, their bot lane has a very strong gank setup against a you know, two very immobile champions in Jinx and Seraphine. Really, all they have to run away is the Flame Chompers and the speed up on the Seraphine W. But if they commit a TP to bottom this time, unlike last game, and they, you know, like they Malphite R and just snowball bot, that could be their win condition. Otherwise it's just gonna be losing mid, and top is not gonna win particularly hard either, I don't believe.
Yeah, this is an interesting composition coming out from Double Jungle Gap. As you mentioned, there is a lot of setup though for Ashe, for Volibear, excuse me, in both the Thresh and the Ashe. We didn't see a lot of early ganks come out from Pelvis Pablo, and if anything, he got ganked in his own jungle in Game 1. So we'll see here if the jungler and captain of Double Jungle Gap can come out strong in Game 2. Tiggy, I believe you're about to say something.
I really want to see just the pain train running on bot lane this game. That is how red team wins here. They need to just lay it the smackdown with all these ultimates and targeted or skill shot CC, just absolutely diving the shit out of Jinx and Seraphine until they're beaten to a pulp. Otherwise, there is no hope in this game, unless Blue forgets where their keyboard went.
Okay.
They're also
that being said, I am all in on channel points on Blue side.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
This draft difference is real.
Oh yeah.
Pizza, what were you gonna say?
So they're operating on a very strict timer here.
Oh yeah.
Talking about Double Jungle Gap, like this low damage threat, and then you're playing against a Vlad.
Oh yeah.
So
Vlad will 1v9 this game if he is not shut down, or if, I mean, even if they run the pain train on bot, if Vlad picks up a lead, they can still lose very feasibly. So I mean, they need to shut down bot and make sure that Vlad does not get anything going. I mean, I don't expect Lux or Volibear to be doing anything that can stop Vlad's farm. He's going to farm, but he cannot get kills this game. Otherwise, he will run away with it.
Alright, so we'll keep an eye here on the early game tempo for Double Jungle Gap. Again, scaling heavily in favor of Andyland here as we load into Game 2, ladies and gentlemen. So get hype for Game 2. And we'll see here if Andyland can keep their momentum up and punch their ticket to the finals and their shot at the title of Season 2 champions. Here we go.
I don't know who drafts for blue team, but give him a raise.
The drafter, the main brains behind the drafts for blue team, is like the color caster for LCS Academy.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Quite informed on all things League of Legends.
Although, albeit, I would have liked to see what their backup plan was for not getting Seraphine first pick, but a red team just decided to throw them a bone both games.
All right, here we go. Going to be an invade coming in from Double Jungle Gap here. Seraphine.
Let's see it.
Here we go. Let's see if they spot it. We'll do just that. Going to be an immediate.
I would have preferred the blind skill shot going into that.
That would have been spicy. As it stands, they will force the Seraphine flash here. Looks like Andyland here actually not going to walk forward to drop any wards here. So Gonna be a win for Double Jungle Gap here early on.
A win is a win. But you need more than wins as red. So I mean, it's good. Is it good enough? See.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's see if we have some time here as well to talk about a question from the audience. Sexy Hagrid 6969 asks, if you were to take Paw on your perfect date, what would it be and why? Huh. Alright, well I'll have to think about that one, because it has to be a perfect date. You can maybe help me out with that one too, Tiggy. You know, you're well acquainted with the man. You don't have to give me an answer right now. Just think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roger, fix the
it has to be perfect, right?
Yeah. Perfect. What do you mean fix the scoreboard? The scoreboard's right, my man.
He might be a red team simp. You never know.
Wait, the Malphites on.
Oh, scoreboard. Oh, you mean like the champions?
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, when I meant scoreboard, I was looking at like the team score. All right, there we go. My bad. Here we go. Okay. Speaking of that ball lane emphasis, now going to be a flash play coming in from the northwest. Oh, but he chose the auto instead of going for the... Alright, going to be a flash coming in from Volibear. Like again, no flash for the Seraphine. First one going to be handed over to the northwest. Yep.
Yikes. I'm surprised Ash didn't even step forward to get assist credit on that or try to get fed the kill. Flash a bit questionable by Thresh, given that Seraphine had no way to get out of the flash Q from Baller, which is guaranteed, but
it is a kill nonetheless.
It is a kill nonetheless, but that flash could be the follow-up kill not happening here. And Ash not getting kill credit there could be the difference in the power spike on the first buy.
Yep. Alright,
so these little things will add up.
Oh yeah. So we'll see here as Volibear does go for the 3 camp clear into the bot lane gank. Good use of the knowledge that Seraphine does not have flash. Meanwhile, Volibear gonna run towards Udyr, but now needs to be careful. Lux does have Prio, but so does Gnar. So ends up being a wash in the end. But Udyr now gonna potentially be able to take away Volibear's Krugs here. Is up a level on Elvis Pablo. What have you got? Oh, the date idea?
We go to tabletop game night at the local bar. And then we get tacos afterwards, because I know he likes both of those things.
That does sound like a very
as a good friend.
As a good friend. Okay. I was thinking something along the lines of like, you know, he needs to go to like a local.
Whatever happens afterwards happens afterwards.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. I was thinking, you know, maybe something to do with like indie music. You know, I know that he loves his local bands. So yeah, we'll see. That's not my answer, by the way. So I'm still thinking about it. You know, maybe we'll circle back to it at the end, and I'll actually just pitch the idea to Philip himself. As it stands,
I think really the perfect date is just the company, though. It's not really the activities. Maybe the food, but activities activities are more like icing on the cake. That is, you know, my company.
All right. Okay, so we'll circle back to that one. As it stands, there is a game of League of Legends going on here, and Volibear is starting on to the first Mountain Dragon of the game, which will get picked up here. No contest coming out from Andyland. So good play here for Pelvis Pablo, but this Udyr is farming up a storm here, although we were saying that about Udyr in game 1, and the Udyr didn't really do anything with that lead before being found out in his jungle. So let's see here if that holds true in game 2. Still relatively even thus far. There is a bit of a CS lead across the board for Andyland, which gives them the early 200 gold lead, but is cancelled out by that dragon pickup. Alright, so again, we mentioned it in the pregame. Double jungle gap are on a bit of an early clock here. So Pizza, what do you think that they should try to do here to try to accelerate this game before Vlad and Jinx get out of control here?
Well, they should be playing bot side. I think we have the Malphite, but he hit 6, but chose to teleport top lane instead to catch a very small wave.
Okay. Hold on. Gonna be Udyr. Oh,
Udyr.
flashing
Oh, the
away!
flash and the ult.
Oh, good flash coming out from Paw to flash away from the Malphite. Although, if I'm being completely honest, I don't even think that they had the damage to kill him there, but better safe
I don't
than
think
sorry.
they did either. They might have been able to turn the fight, actually. Vlad had first move, and so did Gnar. But, yeah, good instinct still.
Ooh, hook landing here onto Mr. Chunks coming out in the bot lane, but it looks like not to be too much aggression coming in from Easy. Still a decent trade, but should be able to heal back up shortly. Let's see if we can get a couple more of those death sentences landing onto the bot lane here of Andyland with a potential Volibear waiting in the wings as well, because if that is not the case, again, this scaling is just going to come through eventually for Andyland.
Definitely not as much.
So, Seraphim's flash is back up, by the way, and Thresh's flash is actually back up now, too. I'm kind of disappointed that there wasn't more capitalizing on it than just the one kill that happened. That was first blood to Thresh. Yeah, the teleport used to get back to top lane is somewhat excusable, but I think Volibear wasting any time really at all in the top lane, top side of his jungle more than necessary instead of just training this bot lane is not good.
Alright, we'll see here as Udyr now pays his visit to the bot lane if Paw can find some success. Volibear is pathing down here, but is going to stop for nope. Okay, I was going to say going to stop for a blue buff, but looks like he will not actually, because there is no vision here on the side of Andyland, and Ashe is now level 6. Let's see if they can find that. Asher will be cleansed, probably. Alright, but now the Seraphim gonna walk in just a little bit too close, and now gonna be the Stormbreaker over the top to pick that one up, but now the turret is back online. Let's see though if Jinx is able to be picked up there. Gonna be a double kill in the hands of Pelvis Pablo. Gonna be flashing out. The tower aggro was juggled perfectly there by double jungle gap actually. So Thresh able to pick that one up first, and then once the turret turned back on, it re-aggroed onto Volibear, but a lot of good play coming in from double jungle gap to again try to accelerate around that bot lane as they used the level 6 spike of Ashe to good use there. Alright, meanwhile in the mid lane, yeah, we're seeing why
the
Vlad...
triple level 6 advantage there was just it was huge, and definitely a very good timing to run a train on the bottom lane.
Oh yeah.
Even the Thresh hook missing ended up not mattering, but you know, a win is a win. I still would have liked to see another gank happen on top of that a minute before that, but you know, still worked out. So
yep. And now got to keep an eye here on the Ashe arrow cooldown. That's going to be the big one here, as both flashes down as well as the cleanse not available for Jinx either. So let's see if they can keep running that train as you mentioned. Right now, though,
oh, and we've got a gank going on the top lane, not warded.
3-person gank top. Thresh is play gonna come in for Joshi. Let's see if the hook lands. It will not. Gonna be enough there with the Nimbus, with the Fleet Footwork, excuse me, from Gnar to get out of that one. But as it stands, still good presence here for Pelvis Pablo after a relatively slow game 1, having good success
it's a very
with
early
his ganks.
ult by Daddy No Chill in retrospect. If he had waited another 2 seconds before giving the tell that his team was in tow, I think that would have been inescapable for the Gnar without an insane outplay.
Okay. As it stands, Gnar, after surviving that gank, gonna teleport to the bot lane and help his team, kind of. secure Infernal Dragons, so the dragon count will be leveled up at 1-1. Meanwhile, Arena Thunder needs to be careful because there is now a Vladimir in the mid lane as well as a Gnar. There is security detail for Double Jungle Gap here in the form of Pelvis Pablo, but they need to hurry up here because now Gnar jumps over the wall, slams Volibear into the wall, but now should be able to walk out here courtesy of the speed shrine coming in. And now let's see if the turn comes in from Double Jungle Gap. It will not. Where is the binding going to come out? Looks to not be up in time, so the shutdown onto Volibear going to be handed over to Paw in a duel of half bear or quarter bear versus full bear. Will be won by Udyr.
Good awareness to make that play by Gnar and from the team to follow up.
Yep.
They might have even been able to clean up more than that if they were a bit quicker to the play, but a kill is a kill, and it's a shutdown to the Udyr. Would have liked to see that donated to the Vlad, but kill secured is kill secured.
Okay, it's going to mean here that the gold is going to be just ever so slightly in favor of Double Jungle Gap as we kind of get into the mid-game of Game 2. So let's see here, the flashes are still down for the bot lane of Andyland for about another minute. We saw Double Jungle Gap have a lot of success playing around the CC coming in from Thresh and Ashe for the Volibear gank, but looks to not necessarily be the call here as Volibear is pathing away from or bot side. Let's see if they can take advantage of the lack of flashes just before they come back up here. Looks to potentially be the call, but fortunately for Andyland, there is a lane ward here, so they're well aware of Volibear in the bot lane. But even if they are aware, they do need to be cognizant of a teleport coming in from Malphite if they opt into a potential 3v3 or 4v3. Volibear still hanging out here, and Vladimir has been pulled down by Andyland here to respond. Looks to be a teleport coming in early from Double Jungle Gap. Going to be an Asho landing in as well, but now the Ashe is going to be found by Gordo Lee in the backline. Malphite going to try to go in onto the Seraphine. Should be a trade of AD for support. However, the Thresh has been picked up here by Vlad as well, and now Jungler and top laner on the run. The Udyr here should be able to lock up the Volibear, and let's see here, the Stormbreaker is just going to be trying to use the jump to safety. Lux here going to try to provide a little bit of security detail for her teammates. The stun going to land as well as the slow onto Malphite, but that's going to be all she wrote for that play, but ends up being in favor of Double Jungle, or sub Andyland, and curiously there, I think, oh no, the Rift Herald did not get dropped. I was going to say, how are there still 4 plates available for Andyland here in this tower, but ends up being 3 plates. As the Rift Herald does not end up getting dropped.
I like the idea from Double Jungle Gap to run a train on the bottom lane as I've been begging for, but
alright, well,
by blue team to collapse.
Alright, well, speaking of running the train, the Volibear is here now, going to be able to find Mr. Chunks overextended. Let's see if the kill does end up being handed over. Yes, it will to me, easy. So good pickup there, but the Rift Herald was not dropped before 14 minutes, so we'll not be able to get that value out of, full value out of the Rift Herald. Now, potentially in the mid lane, Udyr is hovering on the top side of Lux. Let's see if Udyr decides to return the favor here with a gank. Looks to not necessarily be the case, though.
And now Red Side's getting punished for their pickup of the Rift Herald instead of fighting for the early soul by picking up second dragon.
Oh, okay. Volibear, the stun auto going to be just
won't
blocked
even break
out.
Mid.
Oh, it will die. It will die.
It will.
Die. Yep.
Yeah.
A couple more autos from Volibear, enough to lock up the first turret of the game in favor of Double Jungle Gap. So, good play coming out thus far. Let's see how much more they can try to accelerate this game because, again, that's Vlad. We saw what it can do if it finds its way onto the backline of Double Jungle Gaps, basically soloing the Thresh and the Ashe there. And now with 5 stacks sitting on the Dark Seal, could potentially be a Magi's angle for Vladimir as well. Cloud Dragon will be the soul for another game in a row, and it will also be spawning here in 20 seconds, so seems to be the point of emphasis here for Double Jungle Gap. Alright, Pizza and Chungus. Where are you guys at? How are you guys feeling about this game and how it's been going thus far?
So I think it's really just a bit of confusion on the part of Andyland as to what their win conditions are. Like we see Thresh going for Moby Boots and opting for these top lane ganks. It's really not what's going to win them the game. And you know, like the miscoordination on the bot dive might be the same coffin in the nail as the...
Hold on, gonna be Seraphine found out here by Arena Thunder. Gonna be flashing in is Thresh, as well as the unstoppable force over the top from Daddy No Chill to lock up the support of Andyland. A lot of resources burned there, but there is gonna be a champion advantage now, as all 5 members of Double Jungle Gap here are in the mid lane to watch Jinx clear out minions before they can push down onto the turret.
Good awareness to go for that pick by, I believe it was the Lux route, followed up by the Malphite, but pretty wishful thinking by the Seraphine there, trying to steal Dragon with the Encore or whatever that was.
Okay, now Udyr gonna be overextended here. Gonna have to flash away from a potential stun coming in from the Volibear, and Thresh going to throw the Death Sentence away just for fun. Gotta be careful though. Gnar is potentially gonna go Mega here. Vladimir is in the bot lane, which will mean that there is okay. Encore gonna land onto 3, but no real follow up just yet. Jinx gonna come in over the top though. Now Gnar gonna slam 3 people against the wall. So much damage coming in. Gonna be a massacre for Andyland. That is the power of Gnar, especially when you are too close to the wall. Red buff going to slow down Malphite here. One more auto coming in from Josh to lock that one up, and all the momentum of Double Jungle Gap has just disappeared just like that, as 4 members get picked up. Wow.
That's a game losing play right there. I wasn't sure how I felt about it until I saw the Gnar flank. Was wondering why they were posturing so aggressively for a fight when all their team comp has to do is just chill. But they picked their fight, and they picked it well.
Yep. It's going to mean that the gold lead is going to be in favor of Andyland here, and they're going to pick up the second Rift Tower of the game as well. So, Double Jungle Gap here, back to the drawing board. Again, they've had success when they have the initiative in this game, but we haven't seen Vlad really pop off just yet. We saw Gnar pop off just now, able to pick up a Stridebreaker as well as a Phage with his most recent trip to this shop. A lot of potential for this Gnar, and for Double Jungle Gap, gotta see if they get some more picks with this Ashe and Lux.
Blue team should have complete side lane kingdom right now. No one can step to Vlad, and now that Gnar is Stridebreaker, it's nobody's touching him either. So I would expect to see a 1-3-1 from blue team.
Oh, hold on, gonna be Volibear flashing in, cleansed, and the flash gonna get used immediately by Jinx. There is a lot of poke damage on the side of Lux, and the Rift Herald actually gonna be killed before it can charge. So Andyland here not using their most recent acquisition to any of its potential whatsoever. Got to respect the Lux here, who does have a Hextech Alternator on top of the Luden's Tempest, so a lot of burst damage, especially onto Jinx. It took both summoners from Jinx to get out from that rampaging Thunder Bear there. Okay, now, we haven't really seen Enchanted Crystal Arrow be used here proactively in a while. Would like to see that, especially now that Double Jungle Gap are aware of the lack of summoners on Jinx. If they can land 1 or 2 crucial arrows onto either Seraphine or Jinx, then this composition from Andyland could start collapsing in on itself. But we'll see here if Meezy can find those angles. With Cloud Dragon here spawning in a minute, a good potential for those pick tools coming in from Double Jungle Gap. Let's see what
I'd like to see. I'd like to see Double Jungle Gap force some team fights here, ideally with good control on any potential Gnar or Vlad flanks, and I think they should still be able to come out on top despite the Vlad's and Gnar's itemization if they're able to just immediately delete Mr. Chunks and Silent Voice. Because that's really all they have is the group and run at them, and they need to hit it now. It's only ever going to get harder with the scaling and the 1-3-1 capabilities of Andyland.
Yep. Alright, Vladimir gonna be found out here. Gonna be forced to pull relatively early. The Death Sentence, however, was used. And now, though, the Enchanted Arrow Crystal gonna be Zonya's away. Oh, the Stormbringer not gonna slow Vladimir here. But let's see if the stun come through in time. Vladimir still running for the hills, but it will be Udyr offered up as a sacrifice. Now gonna be a double unstoppable board landing onto Jinx and Vlad. Let's see when the stun comes through. The Blast Cone does get popped. Jinx running for the hills. One more auto. One more Seismic Shard coming in. Where is it? From the Malphite. No! Jinx still running. Still running. The Death Sentence not going to land either. One more auto going to be coming in from the Thresh to pick that one up. 2 members now dead for Andyland. So that should give double jungle gap the Cloud Dragon here and put them on Cloud Soul Point. Wait, Malphite has not learned Q yet. This is not a drill. Malphite has not learned Q yet. What the actual fuck?
I mean, 80 carry in 2021. That's what that experience was right there. Holy shit. To be Jinx in that scenario feels bad, man.
Feels bad indeed. Okay, so again, more proactive play coming out from Double Jungle Gap, finding Vladimir out early on, forcing the pull. Unfortunately, we're not able to lock him down there, but we're able to get consolation prizes in both the Jinx and the Gnar. Gonna give them Cloud Soul Point here and give them at least a little bit of momentum.
Cloud Soul does synergize pretty well with their press R and run at them comp, but at the same time, it's not a completely game-changing soul to the point where it creates a win condition. If anything, it just accelerates their potential to see an Elder Dragon, which is always that win condition before blue side scales. Yeah, they just got to keep forcing fights and hope that Vlad and Gnar don't get that pop off, because I mean Jinx and Seraphine are not doing a whole lot right now.
Nope.
Seraphine can do stuff without items, but this Jinx is not even close to a threat and won't be for a while.
Let's see how they decide to force that and press the advantage. Maybe a potential Baron feint here. Again, we saw that Enchanted Crystal finally get used. Okay, Gnar gonna walk in here. Gonna be so much damage coming in from the Lux. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is available. Let's see, it will not be able to land here, and Vlad is on the flank. And now gonna be Lux over extended, but the Gnar should be able to go Mega here. Let's see if the Vlad crucially does get locked up here. And now coming out of pool, gonna go Golden. Thresh gonna go low as well. Nobody dead just yet. Gonna be a double flake coming in. Malphite now stuck in the backline. 1v4, double stopwatch coming out from the Vlad, but will go down. So it's gonna be 1-for-1 so far. Meezy gonna walk in now. Let's see if the stun gonna land onto Chunks here. No, it will not. Cleanse does get used by Jinx, and now it's going to be Jinx on a potential reset angle, and this is going south here for Double Jungle Gap. 3-for-2 in favor of Andyland. That was a double stopwatch, I believe. I know, just single stopwatch coming in from Vlad, but it bought so much time. Oh, okay, so it was double stopwatch. My eyes weren't lying. Oh, but Gnar gonna walk in too far. Eat the Lux Binding from Arena Thunder to go down there. Ends up being a 3-for-3 at the end of the day, but no conclusive, no good pickups coming in from either side.
Awareness.
Good awareness indeed.
Still, maybe not so much by you got to know that the Lux is out there. That's the out. Gnar dying there is a huge shutdown for the Lux in terms of gold, as he was 4-0-4 before that point. That would have likely been mid turret if he hadn't died, I think.
Yep. It's going to mean that Lux now has the goal to pick up a Horizon focus here. So if this Lux can find those bindings, this is going to mean so much damage, even for a Gnar to stand up to at this stage in the game. Crucially there as well, there was a light binding landing onto Gorderly right before he would have gotten on top of the backline of Double Jungle Gap there. Even with that light binding landing, we saw how much time that Vlad buys for the rest of Andyland to solo down the Malphite and Volibear there. It's going to mean that this is going to be a very even game still at the 25-minute mark, but the scaling again is still heavily in favor of Andyland. Means Double Jungle Gap need to find more conclusive teamfight wins and really start pressing the advantage. Hold on, Udyr here going to go aggressive onto Thresh. Chemtank going to be used here. Thresh forced to run, does not have flash available. Will mean that should go down. Your teleport though going to be, oh my goodness, a massive light binding landing onto Jinx, a masterful bait, and now Volibear going to go in onto Silent Voice. The Seraphine should die here, and now the Vlad is able to find his way on to Ash, however, so ends up being 3-4-2 in favor of double jungle gap so far. Still need to respect the Vlad, however. There is no Zhonya's available for Lux, so any damage that she incurs will be lethal. Again, though, the Ash going down means that they don't really have the potential to pick up anything after finding that team fight.
Yeah, I don't really understand the what seem like unforced errors from blue team forcing fights again when they have the scaling comp, but I mean, they see an opportunity, they go for it, and they just eat Lux Binds for breakfast and get punished by the Malphite TP. Luckily now there is no Malphite TP though, so maybe those kinds of plays will work out in the future, but that could have very quickly, without the Vlad outplay, been a Baron secured by red team if he didn't get away with murder there. And you don't want to be making those throws when you're the scaling comp here. I would gladly take out another several minutes of farming over this. And I don't think an objective was even spawning in terms of the denying the Cloud Soul for a bit. So it was just a weird timing to force a fight.
All right, so Cloud Soul potentially now spawned here. Let's see if the light bindings come through. That is a lot of cooldowns expended onto the tankiest member of Double Jungle or of Andyland though, and now Gnar is very, very close to the Mega, and they are funneling out of a choke point, our Double Jungle Gap, so they need to be very, very careful. Let's see if the contest comes through. Again, this does mean Cloud Soul, but looks like Double Jungle Gap just gonna make the call to back off. So
they don't have the Lux ult, and they feel they need it to secure any kind of kill, I guess. But they had everything else. Vlad had no flash, but I guess they were scared of everything else at play.
Yep. Okay, so the Cloud Soul will not be picked up here in for Double Jungle Gap. So another 5 minutes they will have to wait for that one. And it's going to be another 5 minutes here for the scaling comp to scale. Let's see though.
A Baron is essentially red side's win condition at this point. It's too long to wait for the Elder Dragon now. It's not something... You've lost 2 Drakes out of 5. You have to make the play, the vision control, and make the picks at baiting Baron. They are forcing Baron now. Vlad is not there for the play. No teleport. Gnar does have teleport, although he's a bit far away. He's teleporting for the flank to top lane right now. Baron's half dead, over half dead.
Yep. Alright, here we go.
Udyr has flashed in just a few seconds.
Alright, Baron going to go very, very low here. Here we see. Alright, it's going to be smited away. And Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to land onto Papa Paw as well. But now the Encore going to come through and land onto 3, including onto Lux, who does go goalie just in time. But it's not going to be enough because a massive Gnar ultimate slams all of Double Jungle Gap into the wall. And so the Baron, although it does get picked up, ends up being the bait for Double Jungle Gap. It's going to be an ace for nothing in favor of Andyland here, and now they're going to be able to push onto the base of Double Jungle Gap. Massive, massive play coming in from Joshi and Gordo lead there.
Insane plays by the Gnar and the Vlad to just delete the red team there, but you have to imagine that red team could have potentially been more flexible in their Baron call there, and in terms of instead of waiting for the flank to come through, turning around with the Malphite ult and actually punishing the split. But they decide to commit to the Baron finish and try to get out with their lives, and Gnar says, hell no. Stuffs them completely.
Yep. Okay, so it's going to mean that the mid lane inhibitor does get picked up for Andyland, and it also gives them just a little bit of a gold lead here at 30 minutes. 3,000 gold lead, nothing to scoff at, but definitely still playable for the side of Double Jungle Gap. Again, just haven't been able to find a conclusive teamfight win. And Andyland there with really the first conclusive teamfight win of the game, able to pick up so much.
So now, I mean, maybe a team fight just breaks out that's convincing enough for blue team to win with that inhibitor. But as far as red team's win conditions, it's again, it's next Baron or getting the soul and pushing for Elder. And I mean, the fights are looking harder and harder to win here. They need these picks now with the binds and the hooks.
Okay.
Blue team's a menace when group now.
Flash away. Udyr just so very fast. Gonna be able to stun up Thresh there again, forcing a very crucial summoner that would potentially be used for an engage option. And yeah, gotta see how Double Jungle Gap try to find these angles. This Lux, when she has been able to throw Light Bindings from Fog of War, has really found a lot of good picks, but we saw there what happens when Andyland can just run at Lux and Ashe. Just too many members for Lux to bind up, and even through the stopwatch ended up going down there.
Yeah, red team has been losing when they've been stacked up and not actually been able to dictate the pace of a fight. Nothing's really been turned around on them to the point where they've lost the fight. They've just simply gotten engaged upon, hanging out in a 5-stack next to a wall, and gotten absolutely punished by Gnar. So maybe if they can stop doing that, team fights might work out favorably.
Okay, so with that, Cloud Dragon is spawning in 15 seconds again. Another bite at the cherry potentially for Double Jungle Gap, but at this point Cloudsoul is not particularly game-changing. If anything, it's just another opportunity for Andyland to force a 5v5, and they've really had so much success with Gnar Ultimate, with Seraphine Ultimate, with the pressure that Vladimir provides, and it looks like not even going to be a contest coming out from Double Jungle Gap here. Volibear going to flash in, able to try to go for it, but no, not going to be enough, and now it's going to be the Volibear going down. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Gonna go for broke there, but it's gonna mean now that Andyland should be able to push onto the base of Double Jungle Gap here with a wave in the bot lane, with super minions in the mid lane. Should be a lot of damage inflicted onto the structures. This is looking...
I like the spunk from the Volibear. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. He did get in there, and he got in there at the right time. Just 50-50 didn't play out.
Yep. The Light Binding here actually gonna just snipe down the Seraphine. Let's see if it ends up translating into anything else. Again, this Lux does so much damage, but Double Jungle Gap have not been really able to set up Lux so much as she's been able to try to set up herself. But maybe can put a little bit of a dent into the push coming in from Andyland. Doesn't really change much else though. Baron is spawning here in a minute. Let's see if...
this is make or break, I think, for red team, especially since they failed to steal the soul there. I mean, Vlad is just at that point where he will 1v5 the team fights if you don't answer him, and even if you do answer him, Jinx and Gnar are not pushovers here. So I want to see some picks and some good macro gameplay here, because I'm not so sure micro will win them the game anymore.
Yep.
If it ever would.
Okay, so Baron is now 10 seconds away from spawning. Andyland are first on site here. Should be able to clear out this control ward as soon as they walk over it. Okay, we'll do just that. And Thresh now needs to be aware of a potential pick coming in from Gnar or Udyr. Gnar trying to build up that rage, and meanwhile, Andyland here need to be aware of the Lux. Keep an eye on the Vlad flank as well, hanging out here near the top side.
Volibear has no flash, and they're just completely seeding vision. If they could just force the Baron here, and it looks like they're doing that, and there's no blast cone. I guess he has his ultimate to cross the wall, but... he can get gate kept pretty easily here by the Vlad over the wall.
The Mega Gnar does get popped here, though, relatively early, and Andyland going to peel off the Baron here. So Let's see now as Gnar goes mini very, very shortly. If Double Jungle Gap decide to pull the trigger, Light Mining going to come over
like
the
a good
wall.
Opening.
All right, but the final spark being used on Udyr is really not what you want to do. However, the Jinx going to flash away from the Unstoppable Force. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes short again. Unfortunately, that's going to be a lot of engaged tools now expended. Udyr is going to go very low here, but just trying to bait the cooldowns of Double Jungle Gap. And now Malphite going to go very, very low as well. Volibear going to be chasing away the Vladimir, but this front line of Double Jungle Gap.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be a flash engage. Going to slam Ashe into the wall. And the final spark not going to do too much. One Jinx Rocket going to pick up Malphite. One onto Ashe as well. And now Lux going to fall in short order. This Volibear just running for the hills here. And I think this is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see though. All right,
Gnar is the recalls here.
Yep, gonna flash in to pick up the Thresh, and now the damage is gonna come in onto Double Jungle Gap's base.
This should be game at a minimum. It is double inhibitor with an easy Baron to follow, likely soul points. So, which is all but a game. See how they plan out. Looks like they're committing to the double inhibitor, a safe play, just looking to secure the series.
Yep.
They're recalling, looking to set up for the Baron instead of immediately going to Baron, as Malphite has the teleport when he's up in 5 seconds. Along with Final Spark and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow being pretty punishing for a half HP team to commit to Baron against.
Okay, so looks like it will not be the game just yet, but like you said, double inhibitors are picked up. Going to be a lot for Lux and Ashe to try to wave clear here. And with Jinx now sitting on 3.5 items, going to be a very, very quick Baron here for Andyland. And with potential Clouds, well, it's actually going to be Soul for either team here, spawning in 30 seconds. Let's see here if the DPS check is passed by Andyland and they can clear this Baron before racing down here for Cloud Soul. Looks like they will pass with flying colors. Hawkshot going to come out to reveal that Baron is finished here, and with 10 seconds, it's going to be a very, very fast team of Udyr, Vlad, Jinx, and company racing towards this dragon, which will not spawn in time. Let's see though if Double Jungle Gap can mount one final stand at this Cloud Dragon, or if they potentially decide to play for the Elder Dragon angle. Udyr is hanging around, or Volibear is hanging around. Let's see if he gets a steal. He will not, unfortunately. Going to be picked up by Gnar. Now going to mean that the jungler is going to try to flash out of the pit to stay alive. Okay.
Unlucky, mate.
Yeah, that was a good attempt.
50-50s.
Ends up not getting picked up by either jungler, actually. Ends up being Gnar that picks it up with the auto attack, honestly. So Cloud Soul now in the hands of Andyland here. Now they're pushing into the base, and now Meezy needs to be careful. Going to be a little bit overextended. Alright, so all 5 members
Surely they're looking
here.
for an opening here.
All 5 members is here escorting the super minions thus far, but this fight can break out at the blink of an eye. Let's see which team decides to pull
Nexus
the
Tower
trigger.
Slowly dying.
Down to about 25% HP. Meanwhile, oh my goodness, no magic resist on the side of Malphite. Gonna mean that the Nexus turret does go down. Malphite gonna try to reach him back up, but the Nexus turrets are rapidly falling here. And let's see if the
Spark
trigger
used already. There goes a lot of the burst.
Hook's gonna land onto Vladimir though, but it's gonna be flayed out of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Unfortunately, now Meezy gonna try to walk forward, but there is an Udyr here as well. So much damage landing onto Andyland, but now the front line of Double Jungle Gap gonna be falling shortly. Thresh gonna go down, Malphite gonna go down, Jinx resets are alive. Couple autos onto Meezy going to seal the fate of Double Jungle Gap. Gonna be a quadra kill to send Double Jungle Gap out of the playoffs and send Andyland into the finals, where they will play Strag for Season 2 champions. GG.
GG. Valiant attempts by Double Jungle Gap. It's a big improvement after the tilt of the first game.
But at the end, the scaling of Andyland too much to overcome. We'll take a look here at some of the key plays from this game, and then we'll get to hear from Andyland, and as well, we will have the marble race. Tiggy, have you been a part of one of these yet? Tiggy?
Sorry.
No, you're good. Have you seen the marble races yet? They're a good time.
I have not.
Okay. All right. Well, don't go anywhere. All right. So this was a play that really symbolized what Double Jungle Gap really needed to do throughout the game. A dive coming in onto the bot lane of Andyland here, able to pick up a double kill, and masterful juggling of the tower aggro as well meant that all parties got out alive there. But they weren't really able to turn these early kills into too many objectives. Let's take a look here at the next big fight. This was another attempted dive onto the bot lane, but Volibear walking over to this ward right here meant that Vlad was wise to the threat, and this ended up being a massive bait coming in from Andyland here, as Vlad is able to find me easy and solo Ash out quickly before the Thresh ends up getting taken down by a combination of Turret and Vlad there. The rest of the members here, though, were able to get out, so we'll kind of look past that into the next big fight in this game, which did break.
Here goes the Vlad play. Oof.
Just tough. All right. So, with the Udyr Flash being forced out here, Double Jungle Gap have the confidence to start on Rift Herald, but crucially not respecting the Gnar Rage Bar and then clumping up around the side of the wall meant that the Encore Gnar combo here able to slam 4 members into the wall, and that really killed any shred of momentum that Double Jungle Gap had coming out of the early game here. And the even game is always going to favor the team with the Jinx and the Vlad. There was another solid fight here for Double Jungle Gap here.
Disgusting gnarled.
Yeah, really a foreshadowing here. So we'll see here what happens. The Ash Arrow, fortunately, really did not find its mark throughout the game. Gonna mean here that a lot of resources were used without a lot of follow-up, and then once Double Jungle Gap funnel into this corridor, Jinx is able to just basically free fire. Meanwhile, the Vlad with the double stopwatch able to buy a lot of time. Ends up being, I think, 2 for 1 in favor of Andyland here, as a little bit of an over-aggressive flash going to be responded to by the cleanse of Jinx, and with no more damage available on the side of Double Jungle Gap, Jinx is able to get some resets, and the Gnar throughout the game, which is a massive presence that Double Jungle Gap were not able to contend with. Alright, take one more look here. What happened here? Is this the mid lane fight? Oh, this is the random mid lane fight, I think. Alright, it's going to be Udyr starting on to Thresh, but keep an eye on the Lux here as Andyland charge in. Lux unsided, able to land a massive binding and combo onto Jinx. Malphite coming in with the teleport as well, but the Ashe going to walk a little bit too far forward and going to be soloed out by the Vlad, who ends up flashing away. Again, with no ADC alive, Double Jungle Gap not able to have the DPS to start onto an objective like Baron. Meant that it just ended up being a slight kill lead for Andyland, or for Double Jungle Gap, as opposed to this fight. Alright. So Baron's here, started by Double Jungle Gap, ends up being picked up, but keep an eye on the Gnar again, as all 5 members now start lining up here. Huge 3-man encore into the 3-man Gnar ultimate, and just death all around for Double Jungle Gap. Unfortunately, this really kind of, put the game in Andyland's hands for the rest of the game. So we'll take one last
What
look.
an encore. What an ult.
Yep.
It's absolute wombo combo city.
Yep. Just a fun champion there. Double Jungle Gap did seed Seraphine over both times to Andyland there. Although it wasn't necessarily the most impactful in Game 1, we saw the power of Seraphine in Game 2. And again, another overcommitment here onto the jungle of Andyland was too much for even Malphite to stand up to. Udyr gonna do so much to zone away the members of Double Jungle Gap before the Gnar ultimate slams the 2 carries into the wall. And after that, it was just GG. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, Ash and Lux are just not getting uptime here. I think it looks like Ash went mid to deal with the creeps instead of DPSing. And maybe it makes the difference here in whether or not Gnar feels comfy enough getting in there.
Okay.
But yeah, the Gnar just builds up his bar and wins the team fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's take one last look at the damage charts here. Jinx leading the way for Andyland here. It's going to be Lux on top for Double Jungle Gap. And with that, well, let's hear from the victors, shall we? So give me a moment here to pull everybody up from Andyland. Okay, the quintuple kidnapping. Let's go.
Kidnap.
All
This
right.
is a hostage.
This is a hostage situation indeed. Okay, so we have Andyland here on the post-game interview desk. Congratulations to you guys. A 2-0 win over Double Jungle Gap. Have now a date with Strag in the finals this weekend.
Hey, Kevin. Told you we'd see you.
And, speaking of dates, I think you had a question to answer, if I recall correctly, Roger.
True. Okay, so
you've had some time to stew on it.
So, Philip, Sexy Haggard 6969 asked me, if I were to take you on your perfect date, what would it be and why? Okay. So, yeah, like I said, that's really what I've been thinking about this entire game. I had to talk about some shit going on my screen, but that doesn't really matter. Anyways, so here's what I'm thinking, okay? Tiggy here mentioned that you like tacos. So
love them.
Yeah. I was thinking we can do like a Bay Area taco truck trip. I got a lot of pop-up joints throughout the city.
Oh, Roger.
Pop-up, did you say?
You like what I did there? And then, I know how much you love your indie music.
I do.
Yeah, so we gotta find the hottest indie band. Maybe a show from Tiggy, and then maybe I make a arrangement with them, and maybe you pop up on stage and give us a little bit of a. Do you play bass? No, it's Tiggy that plays bass. I know you play guitar, right?
Yeah, guitar.
Yeah.
He does
I
it
love
all.
being. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be a great date. I get to be the center of attention for a little bit. I love it.
Yeah. And then I get entranced by you strumming those strings, and then I ask you what those fingers do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What those
Hook, line, and
fingers?
sinker.
Bam. All right. So hopefully, Sexy Haggard 6969, that answers your question of what I would do if I were to take Philip on a date.
Picture.
And I leave the rest up to your imagination. Damn right.
You get the whole bag, baby.
Hey, let's go. Okay.
Speaking of performances, does this mean we get the rap now? I was promised rap in the finals. Can we get a double down on the promise?
All right, fine. You guys got me. Yeah. Yes. For Roger. Just after that, just so I can get that date. Dude.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Do you need me to fire up a beat here? Or you're just gonna go acapella?
Oh well, it's gonna be next week, right? That's finals. Say on the spot right now, but yeah. I'll contact you. I got you.
Okay. I'm sure your team has been a little bit weirded out by now. They want. Yeah. So we'll go around. We'll go around the table here. First question, over to Joshi. On this Gnar, massive ultis throughout game 2. What were the comms like in those team fights as you guys set up for those wall bangs?
I mean, honestly, it was mostly me just saying, keep fighting, I'll win this. Just hold on, give me 2 seconds to fill up my rage bar. And then we did that, and I was like, flash, bam, catching everybody. And of course, you know, I gotta give a shout out to Francis, but I was just so happy that, like, you know, I don't want to flame Daddy for this, but he's not a top lane main, right? He doesn't understand why this matchup is so bad for Gnar. And so I was allowed to play this game and be much stronger than I should have been in the matchup, and that was actually really helpful.
Did you know that he didn't take Q to level 13?
Are you serious? I knew he didn't do it for 2 levels.
So if you're wondering why he didn't have Comet, that's why.
I'll have to ask Ryan about that one later, because that is why this matchup is unplayable.
Yeah.
It's because of Q.
No Q poke. Route lane. Yeah, I mean, at some point you're like, why isn't this guy queuing me, right?
Yeah, but I never thought about it, right? It's like, oh, he's trying to save mana because it's an expensive thing, but like, I was always like, why am I at full health right now? And it never occurred to me that I had never once been queued the entire laning phase.
I didn't realize it either until Andy was getting chased by Malphite for like 15 seconds, and all Ryan needed to do was press Q, and then he finally killed Andy, and then he pinged Q not learned yet, and he was level 12. And I was like, oh
yeah, I was expecting that. If I knew he didn't have Q, I would have just kept running.
Yeah,
I
so
remember that, dude.
that's the answer to that riddle. Okay, but you alluded to it earlier, and I want to talk about it now. Francis, you got your hands on Seraphine in both of these games, and especially in
Josh got it first game. Josh got it first game.
Oh yeah, or like your team got it, but you got your hands on it in the second game, and you were able to set Joshi up here for a couple of massive Gnar wallbangs. So how did it feel when they didn't ban Seraphine away, and how hard did you fight for it to be in your hands in game 1?
Well, you know, there's a debate between Josh and I of who's the better Seraphine. He only healed 2 HP higher than me, so we'll have to see it for the finals. Who's the better Seraphine?
Yeah, if the Seraphine with gold only heals 2 HP more, who's really the better Seraphine player?
He had 14 minutes more game time than I did.
That's
oh
true.
My God.
That's true. Nevertheless, good displays by both of you on this, honestly, pretty fucking broken champion, but it's neither here nor there. Still needs a good pilot, and it was well piloted in the end. All right. Next question gonna go here to Gordo Lee. On this, Vladimir ended up going 6-1 and 10, putting so much pressure on the backline of Double Jungle Gap here. So what gave you the confidence to lock in Vlad at that stage?
It's really just a comfort pick, I guess. There's nothing that their mid laner can pick to shut my Vlad down, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, yeah, I just wanted to pick something to help my team. The rest of my team was playing a front to back kind of comp, so I just needed something that can dive in and take care of the likes of Ashe and Lux.
Yeah, and take care of them you did with the stopwatch as well. Just meant that they were not able to walk past the golden god of Vlad throughout those team fights. Okay, last but not least, Captain Andy, Mr. Chunks. Jinx in both of these games here. Good pop-offs throughout, courtesy of the AoE ultimates coming in from your team. Why Jinx in these games, Andy?
I like playing her. She's a lot of fun.
Is that it?
I'm more likely to get a penta on that champion. Hasn't happened yet.
You came close.
Yeah, my teammates keep taking kills away from me.
Who took the penta from you at the end there?
Do you know? Me again.
Francis.
Oh, maybe roll swap. I don't know. Gotta get this bloodthirsty support out of there. But yeah, talk to me about your team here and how proud you are of them and their performance in this series.
Oh, this is such a great team. I don't have to do anything. They like do all the talking by themselves. They do all the drafting by themselves. They practice by themselves. They schedule our practice times without me. I just show up and then do what I'm supposed to do.
Well, yeah. Well, you definitely did what you were supposed to do here in this series, just doling out the damage. It's going to mean that, again, you guys have a date with Destiny. Up against Team Strag in the finals. Should be a lot of fun. Okay. Last question going to be asked to Philip, courtesy of Princess Handjob. All right, Philip. Your posse has been out in full force throughout the season. It's been a lot of fun interacting with them. But the question is, Philip, who is your favorite fan, and why is it Sexy Hagrid 6969?
Well, I mean, I love all the posse. But Sexy Hagrid has, always fought for me. She's really big too, because she's Hagrid, and that just means more love. Snacks sometimes caught in the beard, and a good tearful hug. When things get real. Yeah, love them. Just thanks for the question. Just teeing me up too. So I have to actually pick a favorite. But yeah,
damn,
love them.
Okay.
Also makes a great cake.
Makes a great cake. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, literally cakes. Don't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gifted baker.
I see.
Also, Hagrid's got big cakes too. Yeah, I gotta put that in there.
All right.
Hey, yeah.
So on that note, again, congratulations to Double Jungle Gap. Excuse me. Congratulations to Double Jungle Gap. Honestly, on a good season, but ultimately gonna fall short here up against the juggernaut that is Andyland, a well-fought series. Andyland here will advance to the finals. We will get that scheduled very, very shortly. We'll have more updates on that. Meanwhile, we're now going to go into the content that you've all been waiting for, which is the marble race for a $10 of RP. So give me a second to set that one up. All right, Tiggy. Excited. This is going to be lit.
I'm so ready.
I just want to shout it out that right now, Josh with Joshi Howard has the highest KDA in playoffs.
Pog.
30.
God damn.
Yeah, wow.
Did you die in game 1?
I did not. The only person who died in game 1 was Francis.
Sad.
You hate to see it.
Sad.
Okay. So, means here that, well, actually, I don't think I had KDA as one of the pick'ems, but I definitely had highest kills. So we'll take a look at that in a second. But right now, none of that matters because it is marble racing time. Wait, hold on. It is marble racing time. Okay, so
marble time.
Let's get it. All right, so we have the track list here. Philip, I want to give you the track selection here because you and your fan club have really provided so much entertainment for the Twitch chat and for me throughout the season. So just take a look at the list here, and if any stand out to you, that's the track we will be racing on.
Oh, the House of Pain.
The House of Pain. Okay.
It just seems out. Yeah.
All right, let's go. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the House of Pain has been selected as the track here. So to get into this, you guys already know the drill. If you don't, just type !play in Twitch chat and your marble will be entered here for $10 of RP.
Boggers
in
the chat.
Indeed. So we'll give everybody about a minute here to load in. Again, all you have to do is type !play. This will be winner take all. The first marble to make it down the track will win $10 of RP. It's really important that if you are a winner and you haven't added me on League of Legends yet, they do that, because otherwise I cannot give you RP. Okay, about 30 seconds left here, and then we're gonna get this marble race on the road. All right. So, should be enough time. We'll have 10 seconds to tick down here for any last minute entrance, but we are going to get going here. So, all these marbles will drop down the pachinko type things, and then we will take a look at what the track looks like here. I have no idea, just like the rest of you guys, what the House of Pain is going to mean for our racers, but here we go. Alright, looks like Humble Donut going to be the first one out here, but a lot of marbles going to be rolling down Humble Donut. And it looks like Tiggy going to be doing pretty well as well, bringing up the rear. But oh, Kuchi almost fell off. Okay, a lot of people having trouble with the propellers means that Senpai Chris is going to have a pretty significant lead. Tiggy in second place here, rolling down. Going to be a double propellers that they have to navigate here. Alright, Senpai Chris still in the lead, but now Tiggy. Ooh, perhaps a little bit of caster favoritism going to mean that his marble is doing pretty well thus far. Circling the drains here. Senpai Chris not going to have any trouble with this propeller as it goes down the funnel. And looks to be neck and neck so far, but maybe it's going to be no. Alright, still going to be Senpai Chris. Tiggy coming in here as well. Let's see if they can get their momentum stopped by the propeller. Looks to just be the case. Alright, so Tiggy now going to take the lead. Chris not too far behind. Arena Thunder coming up in third, but now Tiggy going to be knocked back massively by these double propellers. These double propellers doing so much work. Oh my goodness, now Senpai Chris going to be making it through the second of 3 double propeller actions. 6 propellers doing their best. Actually going to mean that they accelerate Senpai Chris. Oh my goodness, not going to have too much trouble with these ridges here. Let's see if the walls are going to be enough for anyone else to come in. It looks like it will not be enough. It looks like Senpai Chris will take the race here. Arena Thunder going to come in second. Mr. Chunks here.
I can't believe this shit. Rigged game.
Oh man, Mr. Chunks going to come in third, winning the game, but not winning the marble race, unfortunately. Look at this beautiful man just chowing down on what looks to be a burrito. Gordely and Philip as well showing up. And it looks like Tiggy's squarely out of the top 10, actually. What happened to you, buddy? God damn, these propellers, just not a fan of Tiggy. As it stands, it will be Senpai Chris walking away with $10 of RP. Congratulations, Chris. So, I don't know if I have you added on League, but if I don't, just go ahead and add me, and I will get that to you. Alright. So, a lot of fun here. Thank you guys for tuning in. This will be the end of tonight's stream. Again, we will be back, I think, this weekend. We need to make sure, once we get the official schedules lined up between Strag and Andyland, we will have those finals set up. It will be a best of 5, so mark your calendars. Make some popcorn and settle in for a good day of League of Legends as we bring Season 2 to a close. We'll have marble races and giveaways throughout the finals as well, so be here for that one. Okay, with that, I want to say a good night to all the viewers in the Twitch chat. I want to say thank you to my co-casters, Tiggy, Pizza, and Chungus. And with that, we'll see you guys this weekend for the finals. Good night, Twitch chat.
Good night, Twitch chat.
Twitch chat, say thank you to my co